Yo, what's up? We are now sitting in a Kia EV6. That's not too relevant, but today I want to talk about battery as a service. This is a service that Nio offers. It's a battery swap deal, pretty much, or the battery swap subscription model thing. So a little disclaimer before I start. I have not been paid by Nio to say this. Nothing like that. It's pretty much, yeah. Okay, let's just start. So this is going to be some like a podcast style where I talk about this, but I feel like I need to talk about this topic, and I need to explain in detail the way I think. So battery as a service, Nio. If you buy a Nio for Norway now, what is relevant for Norway, but this will eventually also be relevant in other countries, but in Norway, you can pay 160,000 NOK extra for battery, or you can then get that 160k discount if you only rent the battery. So the question many Norwegians have nowadays is it worth it to go for BaaS, battery as a service, BaaS? Yeah, I would just call it BaaS, because the BaaS will cost you 200 euros, or let's say, okay, let's just operate with NOK now, because it's that. So it will cost you 2,000 NOK per month for BaaS for 100 kilowatt hour pack. Eventually there will be other packs available, but for now only that one. Is it worth it paying 2,000 NOK per month and then you just rent the battery versus buying the battery? Well, let's try to break it down. 160,000 NOK, if you take a loan of the car over 10 years, the extra cost to buy something that is 160k NOK more expensive will cost you around 1,700 NOK per month in extra payment, a down payment. And then you have another aspect that if you own the battery, you will have degradation. So degradation is then counted as loss. And also, if you own the battery pack itself will also lose value over time. So then we can look at the other way around. How long is the car expected to be able to operate before we have to dump it? Yeah. So then that question, I don't know. But let's assume that an ES8 with a 100 kilowatt hour pack will last 20 years. I even consider that it might last even more than 20 years, but let's say 20 years. Then the 160,000 NOK extra you pay initially, you spread it out over 20 years, it then becomes around 700 NOK per month. So depending on how you see it, owning the battery will cost you somewhere between 700 and 1,700 NOK per month. And then versus renting the battery, what do you get then? Well, if you go for BaaS, now they have this deal that if you go for signature and you sign it before 1st of March next year, you will get 600 kilowatt hour of battery swap / energy charging for free every month. That alone is a freaking bargain. So, let me try to break it down here. How much do you consider 600 kilowatt hour to be worth? If you charge at, well, worst case, if you charge at Ioniq, it would be worth a lot. But more realistically, when you charge at high power chargers, it will typically cost 4 to 5 NOK per kilowatt hour. So you can say that the 600 kilowatt hour is already worth at least 2,000 to 3,000 NOK per month. But then if you do battery swap, at Nio battery swap stations, it costs 2 NOK per kilowatt hour. But then you have to pay 100 NOK swap fee if you don't have the free. When you have free swap, that's it. Then you have 6 free swaps. But once the 6 free swaps are over, then you have to pay the 100 NOK per swap plus the kilowatt hour difference between the battery you swap in versus the one you take out. So that's 2 NOK per kilowatt hour. So then the average price is more than 2 NOK per kilowatt hour. It's actually around 3 or maybe more. So you see, the 600 kilowatt hour you get included already is already worth, I would say, at least 2,000 NOK. You can say, well, but if you have Ioniq deal in another car, you can get away with 1.6 to 1.8 NOK per kilowatt hour. Yes, that's true, but the problem is that you then don't have the flexibility. You can't always charge at Ioniq everywhere, but you can with BaaS, because BaaS will give you either battery swap kilowatt hour. You can even charge at the chargers that are on the location. It's a high power charger from Nio, or you can just charge on any charging point that supports plug surfing, because you get plug surfing. It's the 600 kilowatt hour is counted as plug surfing energy, and it's then kilowatt hour based. It's not price based. So you can even take the 600 kilowatt hour and charge at Ioniq without deal, and you know, so that is a no-brainer. And then they take care of the degradation part. You don't have to worry about degradation, because they will take out bad cells and they will make sure that the batteries don't degrade significantly. And what else? If you go for the signature, you get some extra deal with more data package in the car or something versus the regular one. But the signature deal runs out after 1st of March next year. So if you don't have the signature deal, then you get only 200 kilowatt hour per month. But even 200 kilowatt hour per month is still a good deal. I would still price it to be around 600 NOK. So if you take that one plus the BaaS price, then it kind of pays off. Then it's more like, okay, if it's a regular deal, then the 200 kilowatt hour or the non-signature deal, then I would say that BaaS is an okay deal to get some cheap free swap and you rent the battery. And the advantage with BaaS is that you will then have the flexibility, so you can swap. You can upgrade or downgrade to a smaller pack if you want to, or if you want to go for future bigger packs. So you can, for example, subscribe to the 75 pack regularly, but then for vacation you go for 100 or even 150 pack for a month, and then you go back to the 75 pack again once you go back to commuting. So you have that flexibility. But so that, like I said, it's the signature. You know, if you sign up before 1st of March, that's the no-brainer part. That deal is so good that it would actually be crazy or stupid to buy the battery pack if you go for signature. Just don't do it. Go for BaaS. It's like Tesla's free supercharging. You have supercharger for life, and those Teslas will last for a long time, and the car will over time pay for itself if you supercharge a lot. It's an awesome deal. I try to give you guys the insights now, and you might be thinking, well, Bjørn, how much did Nio pay you for saying this? They didn't pay me jack shit. You guys have been paying me via Patreon. And then YouTube has been paying me after all those ads you guys have been watching. That's how the money flows. The reason why I make this video is because I was quite excited. I looked at the BaaS deal and I started calculating, and in my head, the signature deal is so good. I mean, you guys can do the same calculation. Please do, and tell me, am I just out of my mind? Am I totally lost? Am I på bærtur? Or is this really true? The deal I'm talking about here, it sounds really good. And we can say the same thing about, for example, EVs in Norway. EVs over here, they are so good that you have so many incentives. You have almost no toll roads. You have no tax or VAT. You can drive on bus lanes. The electricity is dirt cheap. So EVs in Norway is almost a no-brainer. It would be crazy to buy a fossil car. So you see, I'm promoting EVs. Yeah, who paid you? The Norwegian EV Association Huh? No, nobody paid me. I just found out that EVs in Norway is a no-brainer. It might not be in every country, but at least in Norway it is. And the same thing goes for bus. I found out that the bus is such a damn good deal, and I want to tell people about it. So that's it. Nobody paid me. Yeah. But I think that's going to be it. A short talk about bus. And I guess we'll see in the future, once bus also, or once Nio arrives in other countries, how it's going to be. But I guess the reason why the bus deal signature is so good is because, just like Tesla free supercharging, Nio needs to establish customers. They need to get them customers in somehow. So yeah. But once you sign up for a signature, by the way, you have it for life. You can sell the Nio afterwards. You still have the signature deal, the 600 kilowatt hour for life, but you can only use it on Nio cars. You cannot use it to charge your e-tron. But yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys like my TED Talk. And I'm gonna, wait, man, I'm so out of the rhythm if I do this. Yeah, well, anyway, okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.